Hello and welcome back to my 7 Days of Brave segments in which I'm talking about how to face your travel fears. And today I want to talk about a question that I hear a lot of people ask that I think stops them in their tracks. A lot of people ask me, but I don't know where to start, or like, how do I know where to go? And that alone can paralyze someone from deciding to take a trip. And so what I want to talk to you about is a couple of ideas. I have some practical ideas and also a big picture viewpoint for you to consider. It's a little bit weird, isn't it? Strange background. See, live and unscripted. So when I talk to people who are not sure where to go, first of all, I bring them back to that whole idea of imagining your most extraordinary trip possible. And when you do that, you often realize that there are certain feelings, there are certain things you want to feel, there are reasons you want to travel, because you need to feel something. You either need to feel more peace, you need to feel more alive, you want to feel bold. There's all kinds of words that it could be. And to just give you an example of some of the people I work with and how this plays out. For example, one woman in my program, or a couple of them actually, some of the things that they were hoping to feel is a little more peaceful, some tranquility, a way to feel settled back into themselves. And so they chose locations based upon that idea. So one of them went to the south of France because to her, walking around cobblestone, old streets, meandering, looking at antiques, sipping espresso, sitting in little shops along the sea, that appealed to her and felt peaceful to her because she could spend some time on her own and just really kind of connect with herself. Another woman went to Thailand, and she has been spending her mornings doing yoga, doing things like meditation, stuff like that. That has a very different feel than another woman who was in my program who wanted to feel bold and alive. And so she chose to go to Crete. And she did things like kayaking in the open sea. She borrowed a friend's car and she went driving around the island on her own. So things like that made her feel bold, that helped her feel alive. So I think that that's one way in which you can start to identify where you might want to go, is to first ask, how do I want to feel? And then think about, where are the places where I might be able to feel those feelings? What places kind of bring out those feelings to me? And that's different for everyone, right? And then if you want to think about the practical things too, to narrow it down even a bit more, is what's your budget? I'm in Eastern Europe right now, and a lot of reasons for that is that the budget here is lower. Things don't cost as much. And so I like that about here. And so that's one way to kind of choose what you're interested in doing as well. There could be a whole lot of other questions that you ask, like, what is your level of comfort in terms of stepping out? Like, have you traveled before? Have you not? So if you're not as comfortable with stepping out of your comfort zone, then maybe go someplace that feels a little more familiar, or that speaks, if you speak English, that speaks your language. A place that's not too crazy uncomfortable for you, because that might be sort of difficult. So you think about that as well, and just think about, do you have any hobbies, or are there things that you're interested in? Because there are also trips you could take that have to do with hobbies. If you're an artist, you like to run, etc. So those are some of my ideas to kind of get you step out of that fear and that feeling of stuckness of like, yeah, but where do I go? Where do I start? So hopefully this gets you a few places to start with, thinking about how you want to feel, and then just thinking about the practical things like budget and how comfortable am I in stepping out of my comfort zone. Do I want to pick a culture that's more similar to mine, or do I want to pick something that's wildly different? So I hope this is helpful to you, and I'll see you again next time.